Right. I'm too broke to volunteer as a videographer down in Washington, D.C. for something called the tar sands action, so I figured I'd do what I can by doing a review that's relevant to their cause. Whoa, 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 get your cursor away from that. You're not about to be drowned in statistics and ham-fisted moralizing. That's not what we do here. Now, just hang in there, folks. Celebrity cat nakednakednaked.com will still be there after you finished enjoying this review. Welcome back to In a Handful of Minutes, the show where we review everything else. This week we're going to be looking at the pros and cons of something I've wanted to review for a very long time. Climate change. It's easy to be overwhelmed by all of the terrible things happening in the world, but that's where climate change, and by extension the tar sands, can, strangely, be a good thing. Because climate change causes or exacerbates all of these old standbys, that means that directing your energies towards combating it will give you the most bang for your buck, whether that's actually currency being donated to a cause, or volunteering, or making changes in your life, or even just making a little noise on Twitter. That being said, if we keep ignoring the problem and letting short-term decision-making guide us as a species, then eventually all our problems will be over. The Israel-Palestine thing? Solved. Both sides are dead. Who's going to win the biggest loser this season? Solved. They all did. What are you going to have for lunch? Solved. I made you this delicious sandwich. So yes, clearly this review comes down against climate change, given that I'm in favor of us not going extinct. That makes it all the more disconcerting that a gigantic oil pipeline extension is about to be approved by President Obama and friends. A pipeline the oil companies want to extend to run from the Alberta tar sands, also known as Why Nobody Likes Canada the Way They Used to, Earth Murderer 3000, and Mordor, all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Naturally, it's going to be extended through the Ogalla Aquifer, a gigantic water table that provides clean drinking water for over 2 million Americans. Did I mention that the original pipeline has had 2 leaks in the month of May alone? And that it's going to be extended through to the Gulf of Mexico? Something, previous news cycle, offshore drilling, BP, I don't know. Coming down against climate change also puts me strongly in favor of the Keystone XL pipeline extension protest that's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. This is to try and convince President Obama to come down against the pipeline extension, which undermines both Canada and America's clean energy initiatives, directly endangers our clean water supply, and indirectly endangers our, everything else. This peaceful protest, which has already begun, continues every day all the way through to September 3rd, is very well organized and very concerned with the safety of everybody involved. You can find further details at www.tarsandsaction.org. Finally, I took a pretty broad strokes approach to the topic of climate change because I think the issue on a moral and ethical level is really simple. But if you want to find more hard information, there's plenty of stuff out there put on the internet by genuine experts. So yeah, I put some links to those below as well. And to any of you out there who are trying to motivate others to recycle or protest or whatever, I'd like to suggest keep it positive. Try and think back to the last time somebody guilted you or insulted you into doing something. You probably just did it the once, right? And that experience probably made you feel like doing anything you could to be difficult to that person in the future, even if it went against your best interests, right? As hard as it may be at times, the best thing you can do when facing the potential extinction of the human race is to wear a smile on your face. I guess we've reached the part of the video where people on YouTube tend to apologize for things getting a bit too serious. See you next week. So yes, that URL again is www.tarsandsaction.org, linked below, and you can go there to find out more on how you can participate in this tremendously important peaceful protest against something truly terrible. As I've just proven, even if you can't make it to Washington, or even if you don't have any money, there are ways that people anywhere in the world can help. And for any long-term fans worrying that the show might be getting political, don't worry, it hasn't. Climate change isn't a political issue. It's one of survival. Anyways, I'll see you guys next week with a fresh round of rapid-fire reviews, where I'll be tearing through multiple topics suggested by viewers like you. I'm George Takai.